Oi, Kyle, hey! Have we got the youth intake preview yet? It's coming later today. Alright, well make sure I get it ASAP, please. Hello? UEFA, what's going on? The draw for the knockout round of the Europa Conference League. And are you sure I'm invited this time? Well, of course I'll be there. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Season 10, Episode 8 here at H&W Welders on The Impossible Dream. And today it's two big tests in our bid for a first ever Irish Premiership title, as we have Larne and Glentoran. I think it's Glentoran and Larne actually. Two huge games back to back, only about a day or so between them. And well, if we can get 6 points today, then I think we can officially say we're right in a title race. But of course, first up, we've got to get our draw for the first knockout round of the UEFA Conference League. And then, of course, we've got our youth intake preview as well, which we'll have a look at in just a second. But let's start with this draw. All right, so these are the teams. It's an open draw. So we've got AIK, we've got Baník Ostrava from Czech Republic, CSKA Moscow, which is tricky, Nantes, ourselves, Olympiacos, Red Star, the New Saints, wouldn't mind that one, Austria Vienna, Cracovia, is it, from Romania, FC Copenhagen. There's some decent teams in this, isn't there? Feyenoord, Lask Linsk, another team from Romania, I'm not even going to try, Anderlecht, Valencia. So there are some teams in here we really do want to avoid, and a few that we wouldn't mind. Maybe Olympiacos again, who of course we've beaten already several times. Lask Linsk, I think we'd take them. They get the New Saints. Cracovia, I think we'd have that. They get the Czech side. We're going to get a giant, aren't we? Moscow. Get Nantes. Feyenoord. Oh, they get a lot of the good ones are gone, aren't they? We're going to get Valencia. Copenhagen, we'd rather avoid. They get Red Star. Anderlecht. We really probably want the other. Oh, we got Anderlecht. That's not ideal. Ideally, I think we would have liked one of these two, wouldn't we? Either Olympiacos, who we've beaten before, or a Romanian side. We've got Anderlecht. And they tend to have some very good players at their team. Let's have a look at the key player, though. I don't have the Belgian league loaded up, but someone worth the best part of £20 million. We don't really have players like that. So that is, well, let me know what you think in the comments, but that is tricky, isn't it? That is very, very tricky. All right, now we did, as I said, have the youth intake preview as well, so let's go and have a look at that. And we can see it here, and well, the words golden generation have been bandied around again. We heard that last season. There was one or two that were okay, but there was no one really particularly stunning. But at least one of our goalkeepers looks a prospect. We've got a wide midfielder who looks a prospect. We've got two forwards who are considered to be prospects. We've got a wingback who is highly rated. We have one good young goalkeeper from Belfast who has caught the eye. Now, is that the same goalkeeper from the top? Possibly. And then there it is. This is a terrific group of young players coming through, and it has the potential to be a real golden generation for the club. I hope so. But it's one of these now, I think, isn't it, where it's a we'll believe it when we see it kind of deal. Now, so that's everything essentially caught up on. No injuries since last episode for once. But we do have some games to catch you up on. So we'll get the catch-up started with Porter down in the league and see how we did. Fisher's flick-on was turned in by McDade in the 3rd minute. And Massad made it 2-0 before Fisher was sent off moments later. But we managed to get a 3rd goal with 10 men late on. So a solid 3 points. We can have no complaints about the red card, but we were quite comfortable until then. And even then, I mean, the game was never in any real danger, but obviously we didn't get the scores that we maybe should have got, or the goals even, other than the scores. We just didn't get the goals we otherwise would have got, I'd say, had we stayed 11-on-11 for the game. But a good solid win, which is very, very good to see. Next up, it was Glentoran in the league again. Sean Simpson gave us the lead with a great strike. But Glentoran equalised immediately. Giora put us back in front late on, before sealing the points moments later. So we weren't at our best for this one. We ended up changing. I think we ended up going with 2 up top. But Diora came off the bench and changed the game. He really did rescue it. Before that, we weren't perhaps at our best. You can see where he came on. The XG counter there, or tracker, just really shot up when he came on the field. So, yeah, in the end, it looks comfortable, but you can see it was late on that the 2 goals came, and we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. Next up, still in the league, is Dungannon. Now, of course, they beat us earlier on this season, didn't they? I think it's their only loss of the season so far in the league. Let's see if we can get some revenge. McDade picked out Napoleon to put us in front early. And we went 2-0 up when McGreevy played in McDade. Before McDade picked out Napoleon again to make it 3-0 at half-time. And Diora found McDade to get our 4th in the second half. So we were very, very good in this game. Absolutely dominated it. You can see we had a bit of a change in formation. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, partly to give all our strikers a game and also just so we don't become predictable. But McDade, 2 goals, 2 assists. What a performance from him. Napoleon was great. Everybody played well. A really good, dominant performance, and I think it put to bed any thoughts that maybe Dungannon deserved to win that first game. Next up, the only game to catch you up on that wasn't in the league. It was the final game of the Europa Conference group stage. It was against Arsenal Tula. Let's see how much we could beat them by. Davidson pounced on a poor pass to put us in front. Corker made it 2-0. And Akisian got our 3rd in first half stoppage time. Kyle Fisher was played free of the defence before tucking away his own rebound for our 4th. And Curtis Coyle rounded off the scoring. So they are just a very, very poor side. I mean, you can see again, looking at the XG tracker, we just dominated the game throughout. 39 shots, 24 on target. There's definitely an argument to be made that we should have scored more. But Akisian, of course, the youngster that came through our academy, played a 9, a goal, at least 1 assist. I still think this guy could be useful for us. He's only 18. I would really like to get him out on loan somewhere. But there's a lot of 9s in sort of the key attribute areas for a midfielder. A lot of 7s and 8s as well. If we could just try and get those 7s, 8s and 9s up to double digits, he would look a lot better than maybe he does right now. But when he plays for us, he does tend to play quite well. The final game to catch you up on was back in the league. It was against Cliftonville. So let's see how that went. Davidson gave us an early lead and then made it 2-0 at half-time. McGreevy's crossfield pass found Masson to make it 3-0. Before Cliftonville got a late consolation. So another good performance from us. It was disappointing to concede a goal late on there to lose our clean sheet, but it was okay. There was nothing particularly wrong with the performance, so we'll take that. You can see a few players maybe underperformed a little bit, but the game was good. It was well won, and that was that. So a quick look at what this all means for the league. Now, Linfield have 2 games in hand, but suddenly they're 9 points behind us, which puts a lot of pressure on those 2 games in hand for them. Glentoran are currently second, who we play first up today. Then we play Larne, who are a little bit further back again with only 1 game in hand. So 2, as I say, huge games for our title credentials. Now, if you want to have a look at how the Europa Conference League group finished, let's go to group... Were we Group A? Am I dreaming that? No, I'm not. We went down on head-to-head against Rosenborg. So that game that we lost 3-0, if we had lost 2-0, we would have got through, I think, because then it would have come down to just goal difference between the 2. Now, the reason for that is that you can see there that Slavia Sofia held them 0-0 on the final game. So, frustrating. Joint top, better goal difference, but we lost on head-to-head against Rosenborg. So, yeah, really, really frustrating. That draw against this mob looks very, very costly now, doesn't it? Well, it was very, very costly. But anyway, we'll see how we do against Anderlecht, and we'll go from there. But first up, we are playing Glentoran. European adventures are for another day. We're expecting a 4-4-2 from them, which they've played against us quite a bit recently. And this is the team we're sending out. Innes continues in goal. Jidda is not quite back yet. 2 days. He might be available for Larne, but I'm thinking with match sharpness, we might not even playing in that. We'll see how Innes goes here. McCulloch, Gribben, Simpson and Hill are the back four. Now that's Roy Hill, of course, remembering, not the youngster that came through our academy. It's going to be McQuaid and Al Amin in midfield. Masson, Napoleon and King playing as a winger on the left. Fish has just got a little bit of a knock. It's not nothing serious, but we're going to keep him fresh for Larne. And then McDade will go up top, the wonderful goal scorer that he is. So, let's get out there. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. I'm surprised, I'll be honest, that they are still second in the league, given that we've taken a few of their better players. Davidson, of course, being the main one. What do you want to say? You're the favourites. Go out there, make sure they know why. Recent has them standing where first. Let's show them why. I can maybe get on board with that. I'm trying to vary up the team talks a little bit as well, just so it's not the same thing all the time. But yeah, we'll see how we get on here. Now, before I forget, I did just want to quickly mention, for the upcoming Euros, I have set up a predictor league on Super Brew. I'll try and remember to put the link in the description. The link is up on the Discord. There's no prizes or anything. It's just purely for fun. But if you want to take part, that'll be there. And yeah, it's just there for a little bit of fun for us all to enjoy during the Euros. There's a good ball forward for King. Can he pick up McDade? He goes himself. McDade was unmarked in the middle. We've got a corner, though. Napoleon to take. Decent. Oh, it's there, and it's Simpson. Up from the back, Fred Simpson. And he has headed it just over the bar. All right. And the highlights stop. Away from home to Glentoran. It's one of these... I mean, you never want to not win a game. But I do wonder, and we've got a decent record against Glentoran. Oh, and that's a miss. I do wonder a little bit with the way the league table is looking, if maybe a draw away from home here isn't the worst. But I feel like the problem with that is I never feel like we're going to beat Linfield. So I want to have at least as much gap over them as we have games to play against them, so we can afford to lose to them and still come out on top. So that's kind of why I don't want to drop. Not that you ever want to drop points, but you know what I mean. I really don't want to drop points outside of that. But it's one of those things where, you know, respect the point. Linfield will drop points throughout the season. That's just the nature of football, isn't it? So, if you know, a point here could be the difference at come the end of the season. And having Glentoran and Larne back to back, it's not the easiest, just for squad rotation wise. But, I mean, it could be worse. It could be Linfield and Larne, couldn't it? All right, we're giving them some encouragement. McCurry with a throw. It's not the best. It's headed away. Gribben is there. He's got Hill in space. Goes back to Simpson. Don't get caught in possession here, boys. Masson, they are a gegenpress side. I mean, there's a stunning ball for McDade. McDade! Oh, he can't find the finish. Yeah, they are a gegenpress side, so... I mean, I think that's you can kind of see that just by the way they're playing. Napoleon with a ball to the back post, and the goalkeeper gets there just before Alamin. Typically, as I say, we've done well against them. Recently, anyway, since we've sort of become a better side. That's a decent ball. King is there. Now, he's not the best crosser, which is why he's usually an inverted winger. That's blocked behind. Now, you suspect that's not actually the highlight. We're not going to get done over the top, are we? McQuaid, go and put pressure on them, boys. It's a long old highlight. That's a bit of a nothing ball. Gribben's there, calmly heads it back to the goalkeeper. That fills you with confidence seeing that, doesn't it? Innes gets it forward. That's horrible. That doesn't fill you with confidence. And again, they've missed what is, relatively speaking, a sitter. Let's just try a focus shout here. There's a set piece. Oh, we've marked the extra man there. Well done, boys. Allow him in with a flick on. I'm surprised the highlight wasn't just showing that we've learned how to defend a set piece. Come on. Can we get to that? No, not quite. They're pinging it around us a little bit here, aren't they? Oh, Hill, good tackle. All right. Oh, is it? No, it is. There's no VAR, is there? So we don't have to worry about that. McDade. He's got King making a run. Here we go with Rory King. He's got a great goal-scoring record. Oh, it's a great ball. It's a reverse ball on McDade. I didn't even see that pass, and McDade gets his 19th of the season, and Rory King, well, he's Houdini. I don't know how he's seen that. Houdini didn't have great eyesight, did he? Anyway, well, maybe he did, I don't know. But Rory King, I didn't see the run. I don't think... Well, the defender's gone with him. They just couldn't keep up with McDade. Napoleon and Masson were there as well. And that, with a focused shout... Oh, come on. Look, this guy. Oh, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. No, they've gone the wrong way. Offside. Well, we're still in absolute shambles from a set piece. Doesn't seem no matter how often we work on it in training. And I have checked the marking. It's just there's always seems to be a man over. And it's not like I have a ton of men forward either. That's anyway. We'll just accept it as a little bit of... oh, there's a good flick on from Napoleon. King is in. Can he bounce back for McDade again? That is wonderful football. Wonderful, wonderful, simple football. Rory King and McDade combine again. That's 20 goals this season now for McDade. That's 2-0 up on the night. And hopefully that's us cruising on for 3 points. It's simple football. The flick on for the run for King. Squares it back. McDade with a tap in. It's just, I mean, Sam Allardyce would absolutely love that, wouldn't he? Tony Pulis. You know the names. It's just good football. Simple and effective. Ball forward. We pick it up with McDade. Let's see if we can build and go and make Pep proud with this one. King, McDade, McQuaid, sorry, even. Here's Napoleon. McDade on a hat-trick in the middle. Can we pick him out again? We go a little bit deeper than that. It's headed away. And, well, there's no one there for them, and we can go again from the back. A third goal before half-time would be absolutely wonderful, but we don't want to get back to 2-1, do we? Hill's, he's going to get caught in possession. He's under a lot of pressure, but he does well. Napoleon on the chest. Can Napoleon pick out McDade? We go back to Hill. LM in. Back to Hill again. McQuaid. LM in. There's the ball for King. Oh, that's wonderful football. That is going to make Pep proud. That is wonderful. An 8th goal of the season for Rory King. And if this is the second team in the league, which, to be honest, it really only is because Linfield have games in hand. But we're beginning to look like a title team here, aren't we? There we say it. It's a wonderful finish from King. He could have maybe taken a touch and gone round the goalkeeper, but he just took it first time. And was it close to offside? No, he's timed the run to perfection. Bulmer there looks like he's played him on. And, well, there we go. Oh, it's not quite done yet. Napoleon with a free kick. He has been absolutely lethal from this sort of range this season. Oh, he's only gone and done it again. He's only got... It's a 9th goal of the season for Napoleon. And who would have thought we could do this? We're not even missing Anthony Armstrong. And he's well, I think he is, according to the media dream team, in that he is the best player in the league. And we're not even missing him. 4-0 at half-time. What a performance that is. Let's outstretch our arms and say we're pleased, keep it going. It's always a risk, isn't it? Now, what we will do is be a little bit harsh on maybe some players here that aren't playing as well as they could do. And then what I also might do is just say we have faith in you to do better individually. There's always a risk of complacency in the second half. Let's just give it a nice early focus here as well. King, what are we? Just after the break. Now, there's a risk here, of course, if we concede here that we fall in a heap. What a tackle from Gribben. But, of course, if we could get the goal, then there's also a chance we could go on and really run up a score here. But we'll see what happens. Or it could just be one of those games where absolutely nothing happens in the second half because everything happened in the first half. Let's give them some praise. We're all looking complacent, which isn't ideal. And we've got another highlight. It is definitely... Well, we've taken our foot off the gas here, haven't we? There's a ball in. Oh, I tell you what, they've missed some chances, haven't they? They really should have 3 goals themselves. Let's try demand more when we can here. Throw in there for King. McCulloch has it, gets it forward for Napoleon. McDade on a hat-trick, of course. He pulls it back. Oh, it's almost an own goal. The goalkeeper did quite well there to keep it out, actually. McQuaid's not having his best game, but I think what we'll do is we'll look to... Oh, off the line. One thing I wouldn't mind doing, actually, is maybe resting Napoleon here a little bit and saving him for the Larne game. Mr. X-Ray Vision is still a good player, obviously, but he's not quite at the same level as someone like Napoleon. So what we'll do is, if we just go in here, we can go 2 up top. We'll bring Diora on and just make that quick change there, and all should be good with the world. 15 minutes to play, and it has been one of these, hasn't it, where everything happened in the first half, and we just need to make sure if we could keep a clean sheet here, that would be good. McDade, can he keep possession there? No. It hasn't been perfect, though, has it? Like I say, they really should have scored 3 goals, and if they'd got those 2 in the first half, it's a different game, isn't it? Gribben gets in. Oh, this time he can't clear it away, and dare we berate them? I mean, these match ratings, considering the score, aren't great. And it's why I really don't like praising the team at half-time. I was trying to be positive, and, well, you just shouldn't be positive, should you? Half-time is a time for screaming and shouting. Let's try berating and see if that wakes them up. Yeah, half-time is a time for screaming and shouting, and full-time we can celebrate the win. I should just go back to that philosophy from now on, and we'll be fine. There's a long-range effort. Easy for Innes. He's a strange goalkeeper, Innes. He doesn't fill you with confidence, but he doesn't really... Oh, what is Gribben doing there? I tell you what, we could easily have lost this game 5-4. It's not been the most convincing performance from us, certainly defensively. But we're into stoppage time now. Even if they score another one, the 3 points are going to come back to Tillysman Park with us. Here we go with Diora, who has been very, very good this year, coming off the bench particularly. Doesn't quite have the pace to get free of the defence there, but that's okay. We've got about a minute and a half to play. And if they score 4 goals in that time, or 3 goals in that time, then there will be something wrong. Long ball forward. Oh dear. Can you win a game 4-1 and consider yourself a little bit lucky to have done so? It's really not... Oh, Al-Amin, don't get yourself sent off, mate. It's really not been a particularly good performance from us. The first half going forward, we were brilliant, but we should have conceded 2. And the second half, well, I've learnt my lesson with praising them at half-time, haven't I? But there we go. In the end, it is 4-1. It looks a lot more comfortable than it actually was. Do we say that was a little bit of a... It's a tough team talk, that one, isn't it? Jackal and Hyde. Let's go with that. So, Harlan and Wolf Welders show lethal touch. King on form. He played quite well, didn't he? Going forward, we were absolutely fine. Defensively, I've got to say, we were quite poor. But, yeah, there we go. That ends their home run as well. But, wait there, guys. We'll be back to face Larne, and if we can get 6 points from this episode, like I say, I think we're officially... Well, we were favourites for the title at the start of the season anyway, weren't we? Okay, welcome back. We are hosting Larne, and, well, this is a big one, isn't it? If we can win this, and we do have a good record against them recently. Actually, let's have a quick look at the Larne record, because it started off, obviously, as you would imagine, against Larne, not great. But recently, you can see we had a good little spell there, and, well, it has actually dropped off a little bit again, hasn't it, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. But, goal difference only -7. We have beaten them 6-0 recently, so let's hope we get another performance like that. We're expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation from them, and this is the team that we're sending out. We've been able to keep a relatively stable team, which is good. So Innes will go in goal. As I said before, Jidda is fit, but he's not match sharp, and he's not completely fit. So we're not gonna risk him here. We'll give him a game in the reserves or something to get his sharpness up. McCullough, Gribben, and Simpson are back for this one. Pearson comes in to replace Hill, who is a little bit tired. It's going to be McGreevy and Chambers, so it's all change in midfield. Fisher as an inverted winger on the right. We've seen him play there before. He's very, very good. He's having a good season as well. Napoleon backs up. Fitzpatrick comes in to play on the left, and it's going to be McDade going again up top. We do have Diora, Davidson, McQuaid, Al-Amin, Hill, and Parton on the bench. Parton, of course, is the on-loan centre-back / left-back. So... let's see if we can get 6 points from this episode. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. Seth Keach only on the bench for them, which is probably a good thing because he tends to score against us, even though he is a centre-back. Show me what you can do to keep the run going. Do we say we expect a win? They're second, we're first. I don't want to overuse that. We expect a win, boys. Come on. We can go out there and do this. Puts a little bit of pressure on them, but I think we can handle it. Now, I say that, of course, we won't. be nervous and anxious the entire game. And you really wish we could get a crowd at this point, wouldn't you? Anxious at right back. We've got a free kick here to defend. Savage is no one marking him, but we've done okay and cleared it away. We've only had a day's break in between the two games, so we've had no time at all to be able to do any sort of defensive training as you would ideally have liked to have done. It was basically recover, match review, match preview. That was all we had time to do. So, yeah, hopefully part of the match review was defend properly, boys. But we'll see how we go here. That is relatively simple in the end for the goalkeeper. Very tight angle. And we don't have to worry about that. Let's give them some encouragement. Pearson at right back. Well, he's looking composed, so that's better than anything. Oh, and Napoleon's injured. Okay, so I think what we do here is we bring McQuaid on. Chambers probably has to be the man to go forward, doesn't he? Push forward. So let's do that. Let's bring McQuaid on for him. Chambers. We know that McQuaid does not play well as a box-to-box player, so we'll move him into the deep-lying playmaker role, and hopefully the Napoleon injury isn't too serious. You always worry when they go straight off like that. You know, we've had our fair share of broken bones this season already, so you'd like to think we're not going to have that curse strike us again. But yeah, he's a big player for us. Even if we can just about get by, I'd say, in the league without him, if it's not too long term. But of course, we're going to want him back for Europe, or him or Armstrong. And then, of course, it just eats away at the depth, doesn't it? And our ability to keep putting out strong teams when January, February comes around. And we know that January, particularly in Northern Ireland, is an absolute squad killer. More decent play there from Larne. They are proving to be the better team here, aren't they? Let's just keep encouraging. You do wonder a little bit if this is one of those games. Let's try and exploit the flanks. If this is one of those games where, you know, a draw isn't the worst thing that could happen to us. It's not been a classic first half, and you wonder how much losing Napoleon has had an effect on that, or how much of it was just my team talk and not particularly doing well. All right, so let's say there's no pressure. Just go out there and have some fun, boys. Let's try and undo the damage that I undoubtedly did. We got faith in you. And hopefully, yeah, we do a little bit better here. Now, I just want to check. Would Chambers be better off as just an attacking midfielder? He's not the worst dribbler, is he? So let's just have him doing that. And then we can move McGreevy to an advanced playmaker on. We'll get him forward as well. No, that's maybe a little bit too much. Since it, I mean, it's still 0-0, isn't it? So what we don't want to do is go a bit silly here and find ourselves giving away a lead because the entire team is forward. Let's encourage them. Fitzpatrick over a free kick. It wasn't really a shot. It wasn't really a cross, was it? It was catching practice for the goalkeeper, really. Fitzpatrick's not having a great game. We do have quite a bit of time off after this one. So we could look to make a change. I'm trying to think. I have Davidson on the bench, don't I? Could we look to bring him on that left-hand side? Use him as an inverted winger. Gribben with a header down. Can McDade get to that? He can. Back to McGreevy. Forward to Fisher. He's good on the ball. He goes past one. Can he pick a pass? He rolls it into the path of McDade. McDade's free of the defence. McDade sticks it in the back of the net. Goal number 21 for Aaron McDade. I can't remember, did we sign him from Larne or did we sign him from Linfield? Either way, he has been a stunning pickup for us, and, well, whichever team we pinched him from, and we got him on a free, I think, didn't we? That whatever it was, he wasn't playing for them. We picked him up for, if not nothing, then certainly next to nothing, and he is scoring for fun. Focus, boys. Oh, I've hesitated there. I couldn't find what I was trying to do. Chambers heads it clear. Fitzpatrick. Oh, it's a poor pass. Straight to McDade. Look at Fitzpatrick. He's got Fitzpatrick acres of space. He does eventually use him. We've got Fisher at the back post. Surely Fitzpatrick's going to go himself. And Ray Fitzpatrick makes it 2-0, 10 minutes into the second half. Well, we can just praise them now. And clearly, for once, I've got my halftime team talk right and the pre-game team talk wrong. And look at the space Fitzpatrick was in. He had Fisher at the back post as well getting forward, but he's just settled himself. It's a cracking finish across the goalkeeper. A better goalkeeper, granted, maybe does get a hand on that. But either way, they don't have a better goalkeeper, and it's 2-0. And this is... well, this is looking very, very promising indeed. Let's just keep praising them. I am really worried about this Napoleon injury. Simpson is looking quite tired at the back. Fisher has picked up a bit of a knock, so we're going to have to make a few tweaks here, aren't we? Particularly to Fisher. We don't want to lose him to... oh, look at that touch from Chambers. Oh, it would have been goal of the season almost. All right, let's take Fisher off. We'll bring Davidson on. Can we just use Davidson? No, he's not really... what can we do with you? He's right-footed. Let's try him as a Roman tear, or whatever that word is. All right, and let's just leave that there, perhaps. We could go 2 up top, I suppose, but... there's also an argument, and a quite good one, to say we should have a defensive midfielder in right now. Tell you what, we've had some luck with poor finishing against us, haven't we? So we should probably do that. Alright, so what we can do is Parton can come on for Chambers. I'm tempted to take McQuaid off. He's not playing well. Do we sub the sub? He's tired as well. Let's just do that. He wasn't supposed to play this game, so it's not necessarily his fault. He's just absolutely knackered, isn't he? We can stick Gribben forward. He can play that role. Sit in there as an anchor man for me, please. And maybe go off of attacking as well. Might be a sensible thing to do. All right. Focus in, boy. Oh, we've got another highlight. It's the old 2-0, isn't it? It looks very comfortable right now, but if we were to concede, it would be very nervous times for these final few minutes. Davidson goes past one. Can he slide in McDay? Can he slide in Fitzpatrick at the back post? Fitzpatrick's made a good little run. He's got past his man. Ray Fitzpatrick hits the post. That would have sealed the points. Oh, now we've got a set piece, and we've struggled from this for a long, long time, and offside in any case. Focus, boys. Focus, focus, focus. This is going to be a massive 3 points. 5 minutes of stoppage time. And there it is. Now, everybody say your prayers for Napoleon. Let's hope it's nothing as serious as we've had from other members of the squad this year. But that has been a very, very good, particularly second half performance. So quality finishing the difference. Defensively, we'll still poor. It is not as bad as it could be. A month. So he's basically going to miss January, but he will be back for Europe. And I suppose that is the main thing, although I kind of want to win the league this season. Fish is going to miss a couple of, or at least a week, coming up on 2 weeks there as well, which isn't ideal. But if we have a quick look at the table, yes, they have games in hand, but 12 points is a very, very nice gap to have. And one of those games in hand is going to be against Larne, isn't it? So they're going to have Larne, Ballina Millard, and somebody else as those 3 games. So that, I mean, they're not the easiest, but you'd always rather have the points on the board, wouldn't you? Plus 11 goal difference as well. And even if they win those 3 games, which is a big if, but you wouldn't bet against them doing it, we do still have a 3-point gap. So that is absolutely huge. I'm not sure if I mentioned Irish Cup. We've got Donegal Celtic away. Are they second or third tier? They are second tier, so we should be able to beat them as well, but we'll wait and see what happens on that front. But guys, that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We've got this. Look at this fixture run. We will come back for, well, Linfield away is the big one, isn't it? So we'll come back for Carrick Rangers and Linfield away. Not too big of a gap, but well, if we can beat them away from home, or even if we can just not let them catch up that 3 points from us away from home, then it's going to be looking very, very good for this title this year, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care.